Now that we're talking about Jerry Sager, let's segue into this incredible. It is rich with information. So why don't you talk a little bit about it? And I do want to let them know.
Okay, sure. I will share that as well, too.
Let me go to our main screen here.
So Peter's going to go to the main screen, and then as well, too, I think Jerry's information is flashing around somewhere on the side.
Right.
But I had the opportunity actually to work with and to stage with Jerry and a few other amazing Broadway artists. This past fall, we did a benefit for Newtown, Connecticut, and we raised monies for the evening for the children of Newtown, and it was just an amazing night. The children, all the musicians, everybody that was a part of that evening, it was a blessing. It was very heartfelt, and it was just incredible to witness everyone coming together for an amazing cause, and how we know that music and the arts heal us, heal our pain, heal situations that have happened, and that's how Jerry and I met. So it was just an amazing time that we had that day, rehearsing, watching her, just maneuver through all of her music with all these brand new musicians and everybody getting to show up. I had the privilege of putting everything all together from the beginning to the end with the children's choir, with the dancers, and it was just an amazing event. Also, our daughter went up with us as well, too. So Jerry, she is incredible. She was on the 25-year anniversary. She made her debut with Fiddler on the Roof. She is best known for her portrayal as Cats, Grisabella. She's done many Broadway shows, a lot of national tours as well. She's performed for 3 presidents, Pope John Paul II, Bob Hope. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Gregory Peck, Michael Crawford. She went from Broadway actually to Nashville, where she now resides. She's gotten into television. She's done some TV work. Worked with Martina McBride on a couple of videos. So she's an amazing woman.
I got her on the screen.
You've got her on screen now. She's just an incredible performing artist, a great woman. She loves giving back. Actually, you're going to hear in this interview, she's going to share some of her biggest mentors were, her vocal teachers as well too, teachers that taught her. She's actually studied opera, and then got into the Broadway thing. But she's got there. Get ready. Have your pens and pencils and your notepads or whatever it is that you take notes with. Be prepared to just be so well informed and educated on what she shares, and it's amazing. She talked about her hardest show, what that show is, and it's going to be interesting when you hear about what the hardest show is that she had ever done. But it's amazing actually for actors and actresses that listen to this story of why she says Cats was her hardest show, and also too the best advice. She gives some great tips. She was just at a symposium actually speaking at Vanderbilt University last week, talking about the vocal cords and being able to, she worked with a therapist and different vocal people from all around the country that came here to talk about the vocal cords and how to maintain and have longevity as a singer. We also spoke about her with her band. She's had her Broadway by Jerry. And she goes out all across the United States, Canada, all over the world with her orchestra, with her band, and she does her own one-woman show talking about her experiences from Broadway and beyond. So we're really excited. It was just amazing being able to sit with her and just chat with her, just relax, and just all the wisdom and just information that she shared with me and that she's going to share with all of you.
Right. So what we're going to do, everyone, we're going to go ahead, and Renee and I are going to let you guys enjoy the interview, and of course you can always come back later on and continue and go over and watch it over and over again. But please make sure you have that paper and pen. Take your notes.
Yes.
Share with us. Let us know what you got out of it, what you can get out of it, and share that with us. What's important to you, what she says there that connects with you. And we're going to let the interview go. We're going to say goodbye to you now. We're not going to see you at the other side of it because we're going to enjoy the rest of our day. But please enjoy the interview. I want to thank Jerry so much for
you, Jerry.
Being generous enough to share your life and your story and your experiences with us and with our viewers. And everyone, I hope you enjoy our new what we're doing with the show. Please let us know that you're enjoying it, and please share it. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it, because that is a great way where we put up a new show or put up some interviews up there. We'll be adding new things there so that you can have access to, and it's free, and you'll get a notice of it if you subscribe to it. And also, if all else fails, go to chatcafelive.com and we'll have more information there for you. Other than that, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy the interview, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Bye.
Okay, take care. Thank you for spending the time with us today. Can you please let us know, give a little bit of a background, where you grew up, who inspired you to get into this business of show?
Well, I actually was born in Germany, and I grew up in the Army, so I traveled all over the world. Well, actually, by the time I was born, we just traveled within the United States. And so I spent a lot of my childhood kind of on my own, just because we would move, and I was very, very shy, which is so bizarrely most entertainers say. Very shy, and so I spent a lot of time on my own, and a lot of time was spent listening to music. And my parents, unbeknownst to me, listened to a lot of Broadway, because at the time that was still sort of popular music. So that was what I was hearing. So I would sing along with it, and then, I finally got a record player. Yeah, record player. Remember vinyl you didn't wear?
Yes.
And so that was how I would spend my time, was in my room listening to, and of course the people I listened to were Barbra Streisand and Liza Minnelli and Judy Garland, Julie Andrews. I mean, the first show I ever knew, top to bottom, was Sound of Music. And my dad had a reel-to-reel tape recorder player with the Sound of Music on it. So it wasn't even a record, it was a reel-to-reel tape that which at the time was old technology even then, but I would go downstairs and put that on in my basement and just do the whole show from my imagination, because I hadn't ever seen it. And that's kind of how I got started. Those were my influences, were sort of just the music of the day, but a lot of it was from Broadway.
Wow. Okay, so can you let us know where you moved after that time, where you settled in the New York area? What was your upbringing as far as schooling? I mean, did you want to pursue, is that always your dream and your desire to pursue Broadway, or did it just kind of fall in your lap?
It was always, always, always my dream. I knew I would sing. Once I discovered Broadway, that was it. My thing was nobody else knew. So it was just this whole career, lifestyle, life in my head. And I knew it. And it never occurred to me nobody else knew it. It sort of didn't occur to me that I was supposed to tell anybody. So, particular incident, one time I was watching a TV show, and there was a very famous, there was a daughter of a very famous person on the screen, on TV, singing. And as sometimes happens, this person was not quite the entertainer that their father was. So, and I, at a very young age, knew this. I was watching this going, really? Well, I don't get it. So I walked in, my parents were in the kitchen, I walked in, and remember, they have no idea. All they know is I'm watching TV. I come in, I look at them, and I'm like, if you guys were famous, this would be so much easier. And I walked out, and my mom was like, what is she talking about? My dad's like, she's your daughter. Oh, no, she's your daughter too, So they just never knew. It was all in my head. And of course, then I finally they started to realize, and once they found out I could sing, it became very apparent. And then I moved to New York. I went to college. I studied opera, which, any kind of learning, studying is not bad. My path, I should have studied theater. Or a musical theater program. But, back in the day, they didn't have musical theater programs. And actually, to tell you the truth, if I had my druthers today, I would major in music business and minor in musical theater performance, because business is always the harder for artists. It's a very hard concept. We all say they don't call it show business for
nothing.
No, for nothing.
Right.
So I wish I had those resources, and the places to go for that kind of learning, because boy, it would have come in handy.
Right. Okay. Okay, so you know what? I would like to let's skip ahead a little bit. And
Yeah.
you did tell me, you told us a little bit of who inspired you. Now, did you have any teachers or mentors, and what did they teach you along the way, while you started on your career?
Probably my biggest mentor was a voice teacher that I got in, believe it or not, in high school, it's high school. I feel is a little early for kids to take voice, unless the voice teacher really understands young voices, that you cannot start them out on Wagner and singing this crazy stuff, that all those lessons really need to be about breathing.
Yes.
Because that is the basis of everything we do. It's all on the breath. I mean, if I, as a professional singer now, if I'm having trouble with a note, I even have to go, you're not breathing, Right. So she was very good at this, though. She understood young voices, and I started taking with her. And at the time, it was because my high school drama teacher had said, if Jerry wants to do these roles in high school, she needs to start taking voice lessons. And my mom said, okay. So we found this teacher. And the thing was, it wasn't really about that. It was more about, I hadn't been in the drama classes. I wasn't really well known because I traveled, I was new to this area and stuff. And basically what this teacher taught me was, you have a gift, and you have longevity, which of course at the time I didn't know what that meant, but this is going to last your lifetime. And I know you don't believe it now, but high school is a blip of time. So just wait, just study, just keep moving forward, and your time will come. And she said that, she goes, it may even be through college. Your time will come. And it gave me this sort of peace, and sort of like, okay. And I used that. I mean, my time will come. It was like my mantra.
That's
all
great.
Through high school, all through college. It was like, my time will come. I just need to study, and I need to learn, and I need to absorb as much as I can, because when my time comes, I have to be ready.
Gotta be ready.
And it was true.
That's great, that you're saying that now, because a lot of our younger generation, they think, well, I made it on a TV show, or I did this or that. I need it, and I need it now. And so for me, thank you so much for sharing that, because a lot of the times we rush things, and especially as performers or entertainers. And, I tell my students, I don't know everything. I'm still learning and growing, and so it's when our time is, and when it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. So thank you so much, Jerry, for saying that, because I know that there are a lot of younger ones that are like, how come I didn't book that show? And then it becomes a chore instead of a joy.
It's exactly. And I mean, I can give you so many examples of friends of mine who, an extremely successful actor, and I'll say his name because I think he's a phenomenal. His name's Kelly Briggs. And I met him waiting tables, and he was a very distinctive type, very distinctive voice. He had been in New York way longer than I had, wasn't that much older than me, but just had been there doing this for a long time. And people were kind of like, well, Kelly, he's still waiting tables. And I tell you what, the minute he was like, no, my time will come.
Right.
And the minute he got that first show, that first break where they finally went, yes, you are what we need. He grew into his type. He grew into his voice. This man has not stopped working. He is the most successful actor, one of the most successful Broadway actors I know.
That's amazing.
But it took him 10 years. It took him, and I mean, I'm throwing these numbers out. I'm not for sure how long, but it was a longer period of time than you would have thought. And so many people need to grow into their talent, grow into their roles, grow into their parts and their voice types. We're such an immediate kind of society now, 15 minutes of fame and all these reality shows, they take a 15-minute chance to stand in line. If not a 2-hour chance, they stand in line. Broadway people take a 10-year chance.
That's right.
And it can be a long process, but there's so much joy along the way, and you keep that joy. And if you don't, then maybe it's not for you. I mean, there are people, I knew some people that said, you know what, I've been here, this isn't for me. I'm going to move on to something else. And that's okay too.
Right.
You know, you got to
Right.
find where you're happy.
That's right. You're right. That's so true. Well, I would love to dig in. Let's start talking about your time on stage. And
Okay.
I would love for you to share with all of us, what was your first professional show? You know, whether it was an off-Broadway, Broadway, or theme park. But what was your first professional show? And how did you feel once you booked that show?
My first professional show or job was at a theme park.
Yay! Me
Yay!
too.
I know. I tell you what, though,